All right, people. As I'm live, let me start and hit off my theme song. Let me find the record. There we go. What's good, everybody? How's everybody doing? Welcome again to another Chaos Reign stream. Tonight, this is gonna be something totally different than the average streams I've done. I can't say it's quite controversial, but nonetheless, it's something has to be discussed for what I've listened to on pretty much on another person's stream or upload. So for those that are new to the stream, thank you for subscribing to Chaos Reign. And also, as you come to the building, please comment, like, and do your thing. I'll drop the other links for people that want to contribute to the channel. And I'm also on Anchor as well. So some of the episodes that I have on here, I will be, as I have my special guest, Rennisase Woman. Rennisase, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, yes. Okay, all right, and I can hear you from the other end on the other stream, so it look like everything's good. So let's go. Now Rennisase, I noticed you were partaking on a stream on Nylon stream, I believe was it yesterday evening or nighttime on the morning time. And during that stream, I've noticed that in the conversation in regards that if women ran the community or not, it seems to me from the other guests I come in that, and really it was the whole conversation is to show if really does how much power Black women have in this community in regards to controlling everything. Now, for me, I'm not a person that advocates that women really run a whole entire, community, because at the end, there's still men that's dictating and putting things in place to make sure communities run efficiently. Can we agree on this?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. So to let everybody know what I'm talking about, I'm gonna play the clip that that you came in, and we'll probably dialogue. It's like 15 minutes long, so bear with me, people. As I find it now. Let me see where it is. I'm gonna try to find it. Okay, here it is. So if you want me to pause during the stream, you could let me know on Rennisase. All right.
Okay.
All right. Let me play the thing.
The problem is you come over here and you say that you disagree with certain things, and we're pointing out. I just pointed out to you when I was on your show. You went to God saying all these different things. You never even asked the question or even asked you why does he
George, when you hear when I joined in?
Yeah, I know what I
Okay. When I came in, I actually addressed the topic, which was a letter writer contacting Nyla, asking her, why are you talking about Jeffrey Epstein instead of talking about the black male fuckery of black men predating on black women and children? That was the point. And I dealt with the topic. Cynthia knows it's all complicated.
No, but what I'm saying is before Cynthia came up, you and Twin Man was going back and forth about the topic. So only I'm saying, I'm speaking on just the aspect of what you and Cynthia came into that. And all I'm saying is, I'm gonna say it again. We're not asking you anything that we don't do ourselves. When we disagree, we go at it. So that's all I'm saying. And what I'm saying is, you came on here and you made a statement, and we're calling you out. Like, yo, you don't even go at it with you guys. You don't even ask the question and have an intellectual conversation as to why they think that way. You just let them do it. But then if I say something, you go on the show and say, well, I want to send this out to George. And I think that's important.
I just want to say that I view, a lot of times when I'm looking at these conversations go back and forth, I view it as incessant trolling on both sides, because we don't even look at this, to me, or have these discussions in a real world facet. Because here's the thing, all of us, especially those of us born within this generation, we came into this system. We're black, white, whatever. This government has been established for over 200 years now. Okay, so none of you motherfuckers have built anything, including the white people who just got here. Now, I mean, you can say, okay, well, GE built this and it's ran by white men, but it's not built by white men collectively. Now, you can say this government collectively is run by white men, and that's correct, but that would also say that everybody that comes here, from African men to Asian men, they are dominated by the government. They're dominated by the larger culture, dominant culture, white, whatever you want to call it. The fact of the matter, for me, the reason why I see it as constant trolling is because there's not a damn thing any of you are going to do about it. You're not going to form some kind of black coalition that is going to overthrow the government. So to me, who the government ran by? Who the government ran by though? But that's what I understand. White people, right? But white people, right? Exactly. I just said that's not a good talking point, right? I literally just said that. So if the point is, whether it's ran by white men or not, if it was ran by orange men, what the fuck are you gonna do about it? And I think it's just like black men who come on here and they want black women to pay for the sins of their mother, or for a feminist movement that they had no part in. These black men here had no part in slavery or any other thing that has come after it. You can just deal with this generation right here, right now. So you sitting up here telling black women they're not submissive and they're this and this, and black women, we can tell black men you're not building anything, but what the fuck are you gonna build? Where are you going to get the funds to do it? Where are you going to get the assets? How are you going to go about doing it? Do you have the ability to overthrow this government? So all I'm saying is...
But Rennie, other groups are doing it and they're not overthrowing the government though, so they have the wherewithal.
I'm saying at some point the conversation just gets unrealistic. Black people are not going to overthrow the American government. So what are we doing? We're just trolling each other, right? We're just sitting up here, we got to say whatever, whoever can say the worst thing to make the other feel bad.
But we're not being realistic, Rennie, because we're not asking black women to do anything that any other group of men are not doing, and they've been oppressed too. No other group of people is overthrowing the government, but they're still building communities for their people.
No, Cynthia, that's not, I never said that you were, because I said I see your point in it. Because to sit up and say that black women are running the community, I think it is a legitimate question to ask a man, why are you allowing your women to run you? I mean, these men get on these panels and proudly say that they're in a gynocracy. You're proudly saying that you sit and piss, and your woman is standing up. That's what you're coming on here saying. So I think you have to start there.
Well, but if you look at the chat room, you'll actually see a lot of dudes saying, oh, we can't overthrow the government. Nobody's asking you to overthrow the government. Hispanics haven't overthrown the government, but they have their own communities. They have Hispanic schools. They have Hispanic stores. They have Hispanic banks. Asians didn't overthrow the government. They have the same thing. Arabs didn't overthrow the government. They basically run every single gas station in every community in Detroit. So we're not asking them to do anything that other men are not actively doing. That's what they don't get.
I absolutely agree with asking black men and women to do what Q Butter is doing. Was it Malcolm who said only a fool would allow his oppressor to teach his children? So you can start. Those are places you can start. And so all I'm saying is instead of sitting up pointing fingers at each other and talking about some shit that occurred that you had no role in, as if you can do a share and go back and turn time, do what you can do now. Start here.
But see, all I'm saying is when you say that it's trolling on both sides, that's a very disingenuous comment. But I'm going to expect that from you, friend.
Well, first of all, when you say disingenuous, that would imply that I'm lying. You don't.
Disingenuous means this.
You're lying, giving false statements just because, and I'm telling you the way I.
They're not. Okay, so let me read. Let me reframe it. Let's read that to reframe for your feelings.
If you say I'm being disingenuous, that means you're saying I'm lying.
Okay, you're lying. Now what? Now what?
Both groups sit up and say the word.
Both groups don't.
Hold on. This is how I took the conversation. Because when I first heard these dudes saying that, and I heard Cynthia's response, what I wanted to see come from it was a very nuanced conversation. Because both people have laid out their claims. All right, let's get to the nuanced conversation to get to some form of consensus. What I have seen.
Here's the thing, like women can sit up here all day and we can say these men trash black women. You've seen me go in on these men doing it. They absolutely do. But we're not gonna sit up here and act like women aren't doing the same things. Both sides sit up and say the worst shit that they can think of to say each other. Who can
I'm not disagreeing with that.
roll up the motherfucking spot?
Are you trying to save Obsidian right now?
I'm not disagreeing with what do this got to do with what the fuck do what I have just said got to do with Obsidian?
I don't think
You stay caping for Obsidian, girl.
Ren, real quick, Ren, I don't even think you're wrong in what you just said. You're not wrong. She's right though. People do say some horrible ass shit. They really do. On both sides of this equation, she's not wrong on it. My whole point is instead of having the conversation, it's just devolved into bomb throw. Because no one wants to admit when they're wrong.
I just want to know who's stopping black men from doing the same thing that every other man in every other community is doing. That's what I would like to know. Because they came here, because they sit here, women's fair on the table. Whenever we say, oh, what are you building? They'll say, oh, you asking us to go to war. You asking us to die. Really? So you're going to die if you build a school? You're going to die if you build a bank? If you require your billionaire celebrities that you worship like Jay-Z to stop sending their money to white institutions that are cutting black boys' hair out and programming them to be submissive and open up a hospital in your community? Really? Somebody's going to kill you for doing that?
And let's tell the truth though, it wouldn't just be black men, it would be black women too. Because build a black bank and you'll have a majority of niggas say, I ain't been giving them niggas my money. At Black Hospital, I ain't going there. I'm going over here to Barnes. I ain't going over there. Niggas ain't going to have no accident on me. So a lot of this.
Well, we don't know because it hasn't happened. Like it literally hasn't happened, so we don't know how it hasn't happened.
They do with black beauty shots.
We can speculate.
We can see black people in real time.
When that mighty Joe Young nigga and you was caping for Cynthia the other day was throwing bricks through his floor.
What's wrong with that? He stood up. He stood up, and actually, you don't have to like how he did it, Obsidian, but the man has a point. These Korean shoppers,
we have the state of Illinois, and niggas are gonna say, I'm not going down there with them niggas. Am I wrong? I ain't going over there with them niggas. Them niggas wild. You can do everything and you are going to have the majority of black people because black people as a community want assimilation. They want total assimilation and acceptance by black people, by white people. You build an all-black school in every city in this town, in this country, and you will have the majority of Negroes. I ain't sending my kids over there with them niggas.
I mean, that I can't argue with, but I would definitely say it's arguably most black men who want the acceptance from the dominant society. Mostly.
Exactly.
And I think if they didn't want it so much, the women who want it wouldn't want it so much, because ultimately she's just trying to attain the same thing that he's modeling for her to attain. She's just trying to get it through the white man instead of through the white woman. See, a lot of black men think they can go lay up with a white woman and then they can have access to what white men have, his white male dream. That doesn't work for black men, but the black women are thinking, well, I'm just gonna lay up with this white man. He has the power. Black men have to go to him to get his necessities met. I do too. Why don't I just cut off the middleman and go get with the white man, since he's providing everything for me anyway? And black men are the ones who are scared of him, saying that he's stopping them from providing for me. So why wouldn't I just go get that white American dream from that white man?
Cynthia, let me ask you a question.
That is logic and survival.
Cynthia, let me ask you a question. Do you honestly believe that most black women think like that? I don't know one black woman that says, "Oh, I'd rather have this government checked than a black man."
I'm not putting a black woman who think like that. That's not what I was saying. I wasn't saying anything about a government check.
But I'm saying that's what these Negroes are saying, that black women choose the government. Black women,
no, I don't think that.
And I'm saying most people are not choosing like anything. They're living in this country and they're using the resources. These Hispanics come over here and they get welfare and everything they can get, and ain't nobody telling them they looking for white zaddy to take care of them.
Well, because they are white, that's why. Well, because the Hispanics, chances are they are white, that's why. So
that's the point I'm making, though. People are just trying to fucking live.
But Ren, I think it's twofold. I think some of them subconsciously, yes, they are thinking that on a subconscious level, and you can tell because their actions and behavior geared to it. Like, they can say it's called a divestment group, but who are they really divesting to? They're divesting to white men. That's why they don't like it. If you say anything negative about white men, they will jump down your throat, because that is who they're gravitating towards. So when you look at their behavior is saying subconsciously they are connecting white men to what they want. That's where they go to. Black men, when they actually consciously speak theirs, that's the good thing about black men. They'll tell you right off the bat, I'm going to this white woman, I'm going into this community. Black women asking me for too much, so I need to go over and review this black woman. Community. Black women asking me for too much, so I need to go over and review this black woman. I'm going into this community. Black women asking me for too much, so I need to go over and review this black woman.
I'm here now though, so don't.
Hey, no.
Black men shit. Boys up.
Don't you know I want some smoke anyway? I've been waiting for the red ghost to come out.
All right, I'm gonna stop it. I know y'all see that DJ skill. I had to scratch the record for a second. So Renaissance, I'm not sure if you're up and you heard the 12 minutes of that. The whole stream was 15 minutes because it was coming close to the end, and I don't want to play that, that end part from. But from what I heard and what you heard a second time now, with proper clarity now, that there is a serious balance between men and women of our community in regards to the finger pointing. And I know this has been around for some time now, but it's getting very ridiculous now. And to be honest with you, with a lot of black women, because they say they follow the men, that if this was true, then a lot of black women, even when the verdict was sentenced in '67 in regards to the miscegenation laws removed in America, both women doing it in a high number, especially if there are more women than men. Then obviously by default, the women will be doing more than the men. But that's a different case because there's something more than a sister's not going to go out their way to go swirl, because there's something more to the fact that they just go full blown.
Well, that's not necessarily true. Women don't swirl more than men.
No, I'm not saying women don't swirl more than men, but let's say if everything was said that they follow the men, then obviously they would go even higher if they swirl. But that's not what we see today.
Okay.
When women are not going out, especially our sisters going out their way to swirl, they're being conditioned and pushed to swirl more now because the society wants to assimilate more black people, because by essence they want a tanning of America within the next 39, 40 years. So that way there is no such thing as a racial type. It's like a mostly very much amalgamated state of America. So, but to the point I'm saying is that this finger point is ridiculous. And you brought through your rhetoric, from your argument, that there is a very much off balance. If black men, let's say, had these facilities, these necessary for a community, by default, a lot of black people, not just the women, but also men, will not support it. And you had to draw that out of, the people. You get me? So, but like I said before, in what you heard, what is your thoughts and reactions now after hearing that clearly from?
Well, hearing it again, I always think back to how chaotic a lot of times the discussion gets, and I think it is kind of normal when you're having passionate discussions and you have that many people in the mix. Because I mean, hell, you can watch on just your local political shows. If the analysts are allowed, they'll go at it, back and forth. So and that's only between 2 or 3 people on a panel with, 2 people with the plus the host most of the time. And you see how heated it gets in those exchanges. So you can just imagine how chaotic it can get at times when you have 5 or 6, and in our cases, sometimes in the neutral zone, 15 to 16 people on a panel. So sometimes it's just sheer madness. It's literally like nigga mania on the phone. That's often what I call it. I think the conversations, when you have that many people, a lot gets lost. You don't really get to have that breakdown of your points because everybody's trying to get in. You'll end up forgetting points. But overall, I think it tends to be the same. He said, she said. And really, this is nothing new. This dance has gone on since the beginning of time. If people aren't arguing about the issues, like right now, it's, men are dominant. But, the argument was different before. Black women and black men had issues and arguments about black men wanting white women and vice versa in the 60s, 70s. It may seem new to us because we're the ones having these discussions, but there will always be this male versus female things because we're different, But in the end, most of us, there was a time when most of us were mature enough to leave the arguments where they were and handle your business and do what you need to do relationship wise. Like with the Al Bundy-ish type of thing, how they had the He-Man woman haters group. You're in this room with these guys wearing these hats with horns and all this type of stuff, talking trash about. And then as soon as you guys got done, if one of the wives called, dinner's ready, you're like, oh, well, I gotta go. You know what I'm saying? You went home to your woman. Like now, it's shifting more towards the autonomy aspect of it because people really are pushing towards individualism versus family rather than focusing family and togetherness. It's what can I give, what can I do, and as long as I don't have to do what anybody else says, I'm fine.
Yes. And you're right. You're totally right because this society, and a lot of people know this, and this is not something that's new, but for the last few decades, even today, individualism is being pushed even more now than ever when it comes to us as a people. And everybody knows when you're trying to position yourself in power or trying to change the circumstance of a community or just in general, you cannot operate on a I am me basis. It will not cut it. It will not work. And the reason why I say it will not work because everybody else, racially, regardless, they have their disagreements or within their own tribes, because other nations and races have tribes of their own. Asians got certain tribes, Chinese, Japanese, same for the Africans, and even certain European nations like the Russians, the Italians. But they know one thing is clear: they have to come across together in order for them to maintain whatever little power or power position they have in this world collectively. And this is why people still have not gotten a grips and understanding yet. But because of the conditions so vast and bad that, we have these scenarios where we having these arguments. And, it's good to have these conversations, but this becomes redundant after time. They say, all right, where are we going to move the push forward? because as you know, Renaissance Woman, I be on a lot of channels. I entertain Mr. The Old Man's channel for some time and other outlets, right? And after things have gone way it is, I had to sit back and reflect, truly say, what is it for? I mean, where is it really going? Because okay, let's say black women have an issue attitude. I understand. What can you? I said, man, what we could do to better this? Because obviously, you got to have some sense of power to really change certain behaviors of people. And if you can't,
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
How long have you been moving within the manosphere?
I mean, I've been moving around YouTube, but the manosphere, I don't even know much about manosphere until somebody told me about it for the last couple months, or actually the end of December of 2018. That's when I came across.
So you just started listening to Obsidian.
I've listened before. Listening to Obsidian, I also listened to BGS. Who else?
O'Shea?
No. I heard about O'Shea. I eventually started watching him, but I don't really much to take from.
So you were listening to some manosphere people.
Yeah, some manosphere. And also the other guy. What's his name? The one with the that deals with red pill. I think his name, you know his name. Yeah. I think I was listening to him early of last year. Before
and the reason why I asked you that, because I would ask you within the last year, the last 8-9 months, however long Nyla has been here, and then Taz and I. Have you what do you feel like things have changed as far as the conversation, or do you feel like do you feel like the B1 network added a different element to what was already here, or does it look the same to you?
Well, I would say before Taz put his hat into the YouTube arena, I came across Nylon from another stream, cause before y'all guys, I met you, Ren, and you and Taz. I knew about Nylon from another dude that I do shows on the other broadcasts. You feel me?
Right.
So when y'all guys surface, and now be honest with you, since we talked, it's been a whole year since y'all first came across my platform on the other stream. That I seen growth between you and what you're doing, and Taz is doing his thing. But I'm hoping.
No, that's not quite what I'm asking. I'm asking you about the impact that, let's just go with Taz, because I personally, just from my perspective, feel like Taz has shook up the manosphere in a way that it hadn't been in a while. I think they say first,
Oh, I think I follow the question now. I get you now. Okay. I can answer that. Yes, what Taz has done, he has questioned these dudes' motives and really what their talking points and the issues with women, particularly black women. Have you noticed they never talk? Have you noticed? Okay. Have you ever noticed when most black men is mostly the sisters they have an issue with, but when it comes to other races of women, there's not much talk about it? You ever notice that?
Say that again.
You know, it's mostly when you hear these conversations around these manosphere, the black pills or red pills.
Oh, yeah.
Have you noticed most of the conversation is mostly geared only on black women? But when it comes to other races of women,
black women,
other races of women, there's not much talk. You ever notice that?
Yeah, they can do no wrong. And the reason why I asked you that, because this is I noticed you titled this about balance.
Yeah.
And I feel like Taz brought a balance to that male conversation that wasn't there.
Okay.
That I know that Rude said that happened with him too, when he did it. And so I just think, you don't have enough of that Taz and Rude opposition, George Macon opposition that is consistently there to challenge them, unless you can watch O'Shea show and he'll have George Macon on and you'll see. But I do feel like Taz added an element to the balance that was needed, because after a while, if we're going to talk about black relationships, and if you say you want balance, you're going to have to include some of these other voices in the conversation. I noticed that some men in the manosphere are saying, oh, well, the women are infiltrating. You have the women in here. And for example, that's one of the things that Obsidian has become attacked about. And he says, well, that was my plan from the beginning, to have women into the conversation. As he would say, I wanted these bitches to come to the table and explain themselves. I want them to confess. Well, on his end, he wanted the women added to the conversation, and then you have a half that says no, no, no women, no girls allowed. So I feel like there is a rejection of balance. That the notion of balance is an anathema to a lot of the people talking on these shows.
But let me ask you a question, Rennisase Woman. How can these men, especially ones that quote unquote are in the manosphere, white or black, said that they don't want women either coming into these spaces or, wherever they said they're in these spaces, how they could shut out women on a platform we don't control? I think the old man said this earlier, and I'd agree. This is not a platform we control. So how the heck you going to silence women or keep women off a platform
Yeah,
that you don't build?
it's funny to me when they are including shows that are not part of the manosphere. Like they did that with Nyla's show. They've done it with the Neutral Zone. And like we had the whole Negro manosphere, the big three.
Mm-hmm.
Taz had to remind the Grinch that you're not in the manosphere. This is the B1 network. You know what I'm saying? So they want a monopoly on the conversation. They want to control how other people are thinking and speaking. These niggas have literally become the equivalent to the thought police. And if you aren't thinking how they want you to think or say what they want you to say, then you are trying to infiltrate and take over the manosphere. And that's why, we have to come up with something different,
Yeah.
like in order.
And here's another thing. Alan Roger Curry kind of revealed why he stepped away from the so-called word manosphere, because their enemies, or what they call the Caucasoid, that controls media and these outlets, either on blog stuff, have gave it a definition. I went personally look up the definition what the man did on his little short video, and it revealed to me that, it makes even greater sense why they're changing it up now. It's not just what Taz did, but what's presented now. You understand me, Ren? Because what Taz said, he kind of shook the narrative. That was the first stage. The second stage, now you see these people that's been labeled manosphere, incel, MGTOW. It's not a good look, because when you read definition, it's showing something that's attacking or negative about women.
Yeah, because when people are talking about, especially when you see it in, like, let's say if it was in the New York Times, they are not talking about the Negro manosphere. The Negro manosphere isn't even on a lot of people's radar. Like the whole concept of Black YouTube. More people are familiar with the idea of Black Twitter because of, I can't think of her name, that was on Melissa Harris Perry, that was on MSNBC. She used to talk about Black Twitter a lot. And the other chick, I can't think of her name, but people will be more familiar than the so-called Black YouTube. To other people that are searching YouTube, these are just channels. All of our channels are in each other's algorithms because we're subscribed to each other. We watch to each other's videos. But to just people on YouTube, there is no black sector of YouTube.
I agree. And there's not only there's no black sector. If you look at most of us that's in this space, and it's a small space, if we want to call it a black sector of YouTube, depending on what material we come out, we could be easily shadow banned for just putting the word black or talking just generally about issues. Because if you look at YouTube, where it's going now, it's being more commercialized, more televised friendly,
right?
All that. So anybody that's talking things that's pushing the thinking of people, not just our people, but people in general, is a problem.
What was funny to me the other day? RBR was on, and there were 10. According to it said 10 people were watching, and RBR he's typing. He's like, yeah, YouTube says only 10 people are watching, but it's really 10,000. But they're suppressing the brother, and I thought that was hilarious. But at the same time, it's quite possible that YouTube does suppress the numbers. I think it is possible. I don't know to that tune, But I think it's possible that they fudge with the numbers because sometimes you can go in and out of the stream and the numbers look different, or because like I've even clicked off the screen and it said it was 0 people watching, and then came back and it said it was however many. So I don't know, but it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, I agree.
But
I
I
agree.
thought that was just so funny. He was like, YouTube says there are 10 people watching, when there are really 10,000 watching.
Yeah. Oh, hello, Nylon. What's
It's
up?
so
I
crazy.
didn't.
It might be something too.
I didn't see Nylon. Hey, what's up, Nylon? I know you're on the stream. See, and the funny foot with this, the algorithm picks up very heavily once you have other people on here. See, YouTube is very funny when if we do things separate and dependent what our information or what our channel is about, you might get little. But if you come together with something tangible, you'll get a lot more. And I'm seeing the unity between other YouTubers, you know what I'm saying? But I understand why there's no unity like that, because everybody's trying to get a piece of this small space. Nothing's wrong with it, but you know, if we talk about serious about changing not only narrative but the mindset of our people, we have to really
Look, chaos.
Yeah.
That's the problem with the mindset right there. This
Yeah.
is not a small space.
Mhm.
You are on YouTube. There are millions of people on YouTube. You are on the World Wide Web. This space is only small to you because you're small-minded. So that's why, people keep saying this small sector, sector. That only exists in your head.
Okay. You're right. I ain't gonna argue that yet. I ain't gonna argue. But words are powerful. So thank you for correcting me. You're right. This is not really a small thing. We're in the big. Yeah, that's how we use it. I agree. One other thing before I end this. Hello, Brenda L. In regards to any upcoming shows for the week for you. Well, as I do that, let me just show people.
In the morning we'll be doing the Daily Roast.
Okay.
And I did want to tell you something about that conversation earlier, when I do not view the black relations the way and white relations in concern with the government the way a lot of black people in these spaces do. See, I don't believe in I do understand that this government suppresses and oppresses black people, right? It does that because, that's who you decided to single out during slavery. They had their way of doing that because, the first people they had as slaves, they were white. It's easier to pick out the brown people.
Yeah.
But there has always been a small group of people, we call them the 1% or whatever you call it, that run the country. Most white people, you think about it in this sense, and I know people say, because niggas have a tendency to say, oh, you're caping for white people. But you just think about this. The average white person is not running the government. The average white person has just as much control over what is going on in this country as you do. And I don't think trying to hold individual white people accountable for the sins of their fathers, because think about how you would feel, first of all, if that was directed at you. It's just not realistic. Nyla says all the time that barbecue Becky ain't your problem. Like, she's at issues, that's just some circumstantial situation on the street that you can walk away from. These police departments, these social institutions and structures, those are your problem. Those are your targets. But we focus so much energy on shit that doesn't matter, or on things that we have no control over. Like, to me, the real battle with a lot of what's going on with black people, yeah, white supremacy, racism, that is too, but you have to fix the minds of the people. The people are doing a lot of the suppressing and oppressing of each other, in a sense that we won't support each other. Even here in this so-called black YouTube, we don't support each other. We don't promote each other's channels. We're running around talking about niggas stealing other people's subscribers.
Yeah.
Nobody steal your damn subscribers. Who says that people can't be subscribed to more than one channel? You sound like a damn fool. You have to kill
a crab in a barrel mentality. I call it, man. That's a crab mentality, man.
Hugh Butler calls it all the times. He says you have to kill that white supremacist in your mind. You know, Cynthia G is always talking about black men need to build institutions. You need to build hospitals. You need to build schools. Here's the problem. Are you going to get black bodies to fill it? Because no, you're going to be just like the people in the 60s. You're going to be fighting to go to the white school. You're going to be fighting to go to the white grocery store. I don't want to go in that nigga store. You don't want what black people have. It's not that black men wouldn't build these businesses and things if they had the resources or the funds to do it. It's that simply, even if they did, your black ass wouldn't go. We had a chain of black grocery stores here in St. Louis called Sterling's Market. Black people did not support the stores. They went out of business.
How long they were in business when they started?
They were in business for some years. It was an old store. And just as, Schnucks started building more stores, the people in the neighborhood started going to Schnucks. Like, you had your black store right here in the area. You were going to it. But as soon as Schnucks came with his grocery store, oh, I'm going to Schnucks. Bye, nigga.
Damn.
And that's just what it is.
Yeah. That's the reality, Ren. That's the reality. Rennisase, we gonna probably do this again. I had to stop it here. Thank you for coming in, sharing information. Yeah, we gotta do this again because there's some things we could talk about and learn more about. Because
sure, no problem.
But,
sorry, I was late and I couldn't get to you when you wanted to.
Okay,
but
that's fine. That's fine. Don't worry. it is what it is. But like I said, when we do it again, we should be good when we do the next stream. And I'll think of another suitable topic. But this topic right here was well said. I hope everybody liked the stream. Please, if you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe. Please. Oh, another thing. I always harp this for every stream. Please leave a comment on your thoughts and feelings for every episode I've done. And ways that you like or don't like. Feedback is very important. I always harp on this, and I need it. So, for future shows, it will help. But other than that, thank y'all for listening. But like always, let the chaos reign.